Porphyry tells us that among Plotinus' disciples, Aemilius was the most pious. There was not a sacrificial feast that Aemilius would miss. He made all the moon festivals. He was at every sacrifice. So he was concerned because there was somebody he never saw at a festival. Plotinus, his teacher. And one day he was urging him, please come to the new moon festival, come to the sacrifice. And Plotinus said, it is not up to me to go to the gods. It is up to the gods to come to me. Porphyry reports that upon hearing that, Aemilius and himself, Porphyry, decided they would not raise this question again, nor pursue it any further. That kind of set them back. Plotinus was not a Christian, evidently not a very good pagan either. You know, if you judge being a good pagan by going to sacrifices. But Plotinus had a profound experience, a profound influence on our Christian theology, primarily through his philosophy. In Christianity, it was expressed in a work called Dionysius the False Areopagite. Great reading if you want to look that up. It's there on the internet. It's free to download. But it was a very important influence upon our theology. And even though Plotinus was not a Christian, he went right to the heart of that budding Christian message. He was around in the mid-200s. Christianity was just beginning to flower throughout the Roman Empire. And the message of Christianity is, you don't go to God. That's the message of Christianity. You do not have to go to God, because God has come to you. It's Christ the King Sunday. And we celebrate the fact that God has come to us in Christ. So, the sacrifice that used to take place on altars, that was the place that you would go, because in the sacrificial blow and the last gasp of breath from the sacrificial victim, at that threshold of life and death, God was present. And if you wanted to be in the presence of God, you be there when that blow came down and the victim breathed its last. No more. God has now come to us. Now, there are some churches who say, oh, no, this is still a sacrifice. This is a reenactment that we do in Eucharist, is a reenactment of the sacrifice of Christ on the cross. Well, you know, if people want to approach the altar that way, that's fine. In Anglican Catholicism, in the Episcopal Church, we do not consider this a reenactment of the sacrifice. We believe that the sacrifice of Christ is the self-giving of God that happens throughout all of eternity, all time. It's present in each moment and each breath. It's not something that's redone on an altar daily or every Sunday. We believe the sacrifice that we make is that God has come to us, and in gratitude, where are you? You're here. And you're offering at this table your sacrifice of praise and thanksgiving. Now this is really important. It is really important because it's a fundamental change in who we are as human beings. There are no sacrifices anymore. So great. What does that mean? God has come to you. Yay. What's that supposed to look like? We get that in the gospel lesson this morning. Really stark, too. It's gospel lessons like this that scares the willies out of people. Because what if I'm a really good person and I clothe the naked, feed the hungry, give thirsty people something to drink, visit people in jails and prisons, and right before I take my final breath, some stranger comes into town and says, "Excuse me, can you help me? Sorry, I don't have time." Bam, I die. Uh-oh, I've just become a goat. You know, that's what this scripture can do to you. It's so black and white. All that other stuff's wiped out, and all I've got is that big black mark, and now God's going to say, you go, get out there in the fire. The reality is, there are times where, yes, I do feed the hungry, but there are times when I say, I'm tired, I don't really want to go to midnight run or do this or do... there are times when somebody's in the hospital and they could use a visit. Ew, hospitals. I don't want to go to a hospital unless I have to. That's usually when I need to go. You know, that's the struggle we have as human beings. And that's when we discover a very important thing about the God who comes to us. The God comes to me, and I can stand here like this and not receive that God. I cannot receive Christ. That's my choice. That's your choice. Each and every one of you has that choice. Or I can turn and open my arms and be embraced by the Beloved. And in that moment, when I am in that moment of embrace, when someone's hungry, how can I let them stay that way? When someone's naked, how can I leave them unclothed? When someone's in jail or in prison, how can I not go visit them? And when there's a stranger in my midst, how can I not extend to them the hospitality that comes from the embrace of the Beloved? It's not up to me to go to the gods. It's up to the gods to come to me. This is the good news this morning. God has come. God is here. God resides within each and every one of us. Now the question is, when we go out that door, or when we're here in the community, will we live as though we have received that presence? Will we be that presence in life?